students. My name is Jennifer Torres, and I'm the author of Steph Soto Taco Queen, The Do-Over, and other middle grade novels about home, family, and other things that change. In today's craft video, we'll be talking about plot and theme, how the two are related, and how writers use plot to develop theme and purpose. But first, let's define plot. So plot is the chain of interconnected events that make up a story. That word interconnected is really important here. We're not talking about just any random events. We're talking about events that have a cause and effect relationship to each other. They are together or connected in some way. Instead of and then, think and so. Here's what I mean. Instead of Cinderella left the party and then she lost her shoe, think worried that the magic that turned her into a princess would disappear at the stroke of midnight. Cinderella left the ball in a hurry, and so, on the way out, she lost her shoe. In the second version, we understand how those two events are connected. Cinderella leaving the party and Cinderella losing her shoe. That's plot. And if you know the story, you know that everything that happens next continues to build on what's happened before. This might be a good time to pause the video and think of two events or scenes that happen in a favorite book of yours. Think about how the first event leads to the other. How are the two scenes connected? Writers can organize their plots to pull you into the story, to help develop tension and to help you care about characters. They can also use plot to help develop theme. So let's talk about theme. Theme is the underlying message or purpose that a story communicates, something that goes beyond the words themselves. In fact, you probably won't see the theme written out on the pages. Instead, you begin to understand the theme as the plot develops. If a story is what happens and plot is how it happens, you can think of theme as why it happens. To help explain what I mean, I want to take an example from one of my novels, Flor and Miranda Steal the Show. This story takes place over one day at a county fair. The two characters, Flor and Miranda, live and work on the carnival circuit. Flor's dad owns the petting zoo, and Miranda is the lead singer in her family's ranchera band. To me, the theme of this story is something like home is not just a place, but also a community. So how can plot show us that theme? Let's start with two scenes that happen early on in this story. Flor overhears the carnival manager talking about her father's petting zoo. Flor invites Miranda to sample all the food at the carnival. Right now, these events seem kind of random. They don't help us understand the theme until we know how they are related to each other. So let's fix that. Flor overhears the carnival manager talking about getting rid of her father's petting zoo so that he can afford to give Miranda's popular band the raise they've been asking for. And so, Flor invites Miranda to sample all the food at the carnival. Funnel cakes, garlic fries, deep fried pickles, hoping that if Miranda is too sick to perform, the manager will change his mind. By seeing how Flor reacts to what she's overheard and how desperate she is to save the petting zoo, we began to understand that the carnival is like home to her. To give you a chance to experiment with plot and theme, I thought we'd take a closer look at another of my books, The Do-Over, which will be released in April. This story is a twist on the Parent Trap set during a pandemic. In it, twins Raquel and Lucinda scheme to get their divorced parents to spend the lockdown together at Dad's ranch house in the country. But what they don't realize is that Dad's new girlfriend and her daughter are already living there. To me, the theme of this book is families can grow and change in ways that are sometimes challenging and unexpected. Can you think of two interconnected scenes that would help express that theme? If you'd like a little help, I can give you a scene to start with. Raquel and Lucinda have arrived at Dad's house and have just met his new girlfriend, Sylvia. Raquel uncovered her suitcase. She unzipped it to make sure the laptop was still intact and that her family-sized box of corn checks hadn't gotten too crushed on the road. Of course she knew there were grocery stores in Lockford and that she didn't have to travel with her own breakfast cereal. But it was her secret weapon writing fuel, and she felt better knowing that she had it with her. She re-zipped the suitcase and placed it on the ground. "I know it's not what we planned," she said, "but just think. Now we have the chance to observe Sylvia, get to know her weaknesses. That way, if Dad doesn't decide on her own to make her leave, we can make sure she doesn't want to stay." Go ahead and pause here to brainstorm what might happen next. In the meantime, be sure to check out the rest of the videos in the Latinx Kidlit Book Festival craft series on YouTube. We can't wait to see you at the festival. Happy reading and happy writing.